Welcome back. Severe flooding in Mpumalanga has forced schools to close and prompted authorities to focus on learner safety. Teachers and learners have struggled to get to class because of flooded rivers and dangerous roads. Let's get you the latest on the situation there. The Mpumalanga Education Department's spokesperson, Gerald Sambo, joins us this Friday. Gerald, good morning. Thank you for your time. It's not the ideal start to the new school year, but really there's very little the department can do in the wake of the level of flooding there.
Yes, indeed. Good morning to you too, Michelle, and good morning to all the viewers of Newzroom Afrika. Yes, indeed, it's not a good start, but we are encouraged that in the two other districts in the province, in almost all the schools, learning and teaching has resumed, as normal. The only challenging factor it's in Bushbuckridge local municipality and part of Etlanzeni district. But we have, taken into account the safety of the educators and the learners in all our schools, taken a decision after consultation with the Department of Education and the local disaster management teams that because of the severity of the weather challenges in the Mpumalanga district under Bushbuckridge local municipality, that we suspend classes altogether from yesterday and today, and see how the weather is looking like in the coming few days. And we will continue to monitor, the weather patterns, but also following the weather updates that we receive from the weather services to see if it will be feasible, for us to resume, classes, especially in the Mpumalanga district. It is something that is challenging because a day lost, it's quite too much for our learners from the side of the department, and for them to catch up with that time, we will be able to sit down with the district and see how we can assist these learners to catch up. But we are encouraging the district to report, on a daily basis so that we know which school have not been in attendance and how can we support them after the situation is normalized. You have also issued, guidelines to other districts, all the schools, that they should also use their own discretion as a precautionary measure so that we keep our learners and educators and non-teaching staff in all our schools safe. So no school should force learners to go to school, or parents should not force learners to go to school when the weather patterns are not looking good, because all that is important to us as a department is the safety of our educators and learners and non-teaching staff. So it is very important that we heed the call, but also make sure that we do not force these kids to cross rivers and, bridges that has got high level water, but also waterlogged roads, especially in our Thomas area. That area, once there is persistent rains, it has a potential of, flooding. So it is quite important that we heed this call, and we have done this as a department to ensure that our learners and educators are safe. We will look into the weather and see how best can we manage after the schools have reopened. But what we can also indicate as a department that towards the end of the year, last year, 2025, we had about 28 schools that were storm damaged, and the persistent rains are making it difficult for the department to intervene in terms of addressing the challenge, because we have procured mobile classes that we need to take into these schools so that learning and teaching takes place without hindrance, while we are looking at ways and means to repair the schools, guided by the engineers who also have been trying to conduct assessment of the damage that was caused by these severe weathers. So this is really a challenge from us as a department, but we believe that as soon the weather will, look into our favor so that our learners go back to schools. The most challenge is the road infrastructure and the bridges that will not enable our educators and learners to go to school. But our schools are ready. Most of the schools have received learners, and learning and teaching is taking place. It's just that we around Bushbuckridge local municipality, we have taken that decision to put ahead the safety of our learners, educators, and non-teaching staff in the area.
It's critical that we get the new school term, especially the new school year, going smoothly. And the Public Service Association has once again just highlighted the fact that it's rural schools Gerald, that are the worst affected when it comes to weather? I mean, this sets these pupils back even further in the context where they are already disadvantaged.
Yes, indeed. Like I've indicated earlier, the road infrastructure. Most of our rural schools have, do not have tar roads, and it's muddy and slippery. So also the fact that in some areas you have, learners crossing, rivers, to go to school. So those are the main challenges in the main. Hence, we have also looked into the fact that in our, urban areas and some of our township schools, learners are able to go to school because the infrastructure is permissible for them to do so. So it is mainly in our rural schools. But what we can also maybe bring to the attention of the viewers is that we will definitely make sure that our learners catch up for the time that is lost. We will come up with a specialized program customized for all the schools that do not go to school. We have encouraged our schools to report on a daily basis, especially to the Senate office and the district office, whenever they're unable to attend classes, so that we take stock of the number of schools that were affected, but also the number of days that they have lost, so that when we come up with a catch-up program for these learners, it is informed by the number of days that they've lost. But it is very important for our communities, especially parents, to note that they should not force our learners to go to school when the weather is bad, so that we do not lose the lives of these children, because us as education cannot exist without our learners and teachers. Without these learners, it means there's no schooling. So we need them to come back to school so that they continue their studies and carry on past and improve their lives and the lives, of their families. So it is very important to take those precautionary measures. We've sent also guidelines in terms of what safety measures schools need to put in place, but we're also encouraging them to always have the numbers for emergency services at hand, so that whenever there is an emergency, they quickly contact the emergency services, and as trained and well-vested people in such areas are able to come in and assist and ensure that we do not lose any lives. Michelle.
Yeah, absolutely. It's imperative that we keep our pupils safe. So at this stage, Gerald, what is the communication? I know you said that districts are using their discretion insofar as bringing children back to class. But for now, given the weather forecast for the next few days, do you reckon those kids will come to class on Monday?
Well, we will be guided by the weather, forecast, and we will continue to monitor the weather updates. And if we see that the situation is not, changing for the better, we will, communicate with the schools accordingly and advise them as to what needs to be done. Because, like I've indicated, it's in everything that we're doing and the decision that we've taken as a department, it's for the safety of our educators and learners and non-teaching staff at the school. But this message should also go out to all the community members that they should not, attempt to cross, rivers or flooded bridges, because we have seen already that we have lost, some people because of, them trying to or attempting to cross, bridges and rivers. So it is very important that we heed this call and make sure that our safety and the safety of everyone around us remain sacrosanct, above everything.
Gerald Sambo is the spokesperson of the Education Department in Mpumalanga. Gerald, thanks very much for your time.